Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a new day. Right? We are putting away and packing everything away from the past, and we are transitioning to a glorious future. And what that calls for, because I want us to be very clear, we appreciate all the contributions and sacrifices of our elders. Everybody that paved the way, a way, that made us to be in a position and share the liberties that we do and the things that we enjoy today. We appreciate that, right? Don't ever think that that's going in vain. We are thankful for those who have opened up doors, like the Dr. E. Hood Delonys, right? The McCrees, right? The Woodrow Stanleys, right? The people that really cared enough to say that, you know what, I'm doing my work today so I can impact the future. We are thankful for you. And when we pour out libation in response to that, that's what we're doing. We're bringing that spirit into the room with us. We're bringing you among the space with us because we continuously need your guidance on a day to day basis. But then we also have to transition to the future. We all understand you all have a certain time in place to do what you're going to do, to make the impact that you're going to make. And that's granted. We are the ones of today. And I'm thankful for the tutelage, the guidance, the support, the wisdom that those before us have left. So that way we know how to carry ourselves moving forward. But we do realize that we got a short window too. So while we here, we're gonna make the best of our opportunities. We're gonna do the work. And when it's our time, when the sun sets on us and it's time for us to sit down, we're gonna pass all that information and knowledge to everybody that's coming up behind us. So that's the way of the circle of life. That's the continuity in all this. I don't want to be 70, 80 years old, still in position or talking about I'm trying to run for office. That's crazy. I want to be sitting on the beach in Ghana,
Yeah.
with my family out there having a good time with my grandchildren and just telling about all the stuff that we done came through and overcame, right? So let that be a lesson to you all. You get a short time, an opportunity while you're here, take advantage of it, right? And be thankful for the time. It might be 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, whatever the case, it might be 2 years. Just be thankful that you had the opportunity to contribute. And I think that's the important piece of this all. And that's the type of legacy that we want to live. We want to build structures where we have the energy to do so, but we don't want to hog all the resources neither. I think that has been a problem when we talk about gatekeeping. We talk about people that's been holding on to these positions for 40 years, right? There's no way that I would any try to hold on to public office or hold on to a position and outlive my welcome. Right? I will gracefully bow out, pass it on to the next one, right? So we thankful for everything, man. So if it's your time, if you're in the mix right now, you're doing the work, continue to keep doing the work, right? The sun is shining on you right now, son. And the ancestors are proud. But then that future generation awaits for the opportunity to shine too. So welcome you to Royale X Politikin, right? We're here for another segment. We got a wonderful guest in here today that's going to be enlightening us about what they plan to do for not only themselves, the community, but then also what they got going on for the Seventh Ward. Yeah, we talking about the Seventh Ward candidate for City Council, Mr. Darrell Brown. What's going on, brother?
What's going on with it,
Come on
man?
now, Imp. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
That's right. Get it in there.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Come on now. We don't play no games. We'll come
Yes,
down to this, baby.
yes.
That's right. So we're going to definitely just have an engaging conversation. We're going to be talking about all things inclusive. And then please be sure to check him out on Royale X Politikin, right? Yes, you can catch it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that, right? And then there's all type of other content too, man. We just appreciate it. If you do appreciate the content, be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment, right? And if you got somebody that you think that we should bring in, bring them out. Right? That's what we do, man. What's going on, good brother?
Oh man, blessed, man.
Yes,
Feeling
sir.
good, man. I'm
Yes,
really
sir.
feeling good.
Yes,
This
sir.
has been a great turn of events in life, man.
I
Doing
know.
something I've never done.
I know.
Never done. I'm
Absolutely.
usually in the background of things, right?
Okay.
I'm always serving in the background. I'm usually, you know, of course I have my little photos out there and everything, but
Yeah.
it is a new day. Like you
Mhm.
said, the sun is shining.
Come on
And
now.
I got a mindset and a goal to achieve, you know,
Yeah.
and it's for the people.
Yes, sir.
That's truly what it's for, man.
Always
I
gotta
want
be
to
for the people.
hey, if it ain't for the people, then what is it for?
It ain't for nothing.
That's the situation that we find ourselves in today's society, because
Mhm.
people speak for titles, but they're not speaking for the people.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
When you think about this, though, man, I think sometimes title do draw and drive the conversation for folks, right?
Okay.
See, a lot of people don't know how to operate if they don't have a title.
Hmm.
But you can do more impact and you can be, advansive if you don't even have a title to your name, right? It's not about a title, everybody. It's not about that, right?
No.
You don't have to be a council person. You don't have to be the mayor of the city. You don't have to be the state rep to be able to do impact. If you
Mhm.
really care about this community,
Right.
then and you have a purpose of what you're doing, you're gonna find a lane to do what you're doing without even having those titles, right?
Exactly.
And you're gonna get the resources you need to advance the mission.
Yeah.
And that's why I be having to say for us, man, let's not be so title driven.
Right.
It's not important about that. Because in the socialism type of thing, right, everybody got a part.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody play a role.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's another reason why, like, I'm running is
Okay.
because we do need leadership that shows up.
Absolutely.
And not just when the cameras are there, but when the cameras are gone.
Come on.
What type of work are you doing?
Come on a day-to-day basis.
On a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So way before I even started to think about running,
Okay.
right? I was working with the youth.
Okay.
You know, helping the youth out, helping them with the resumes,
Mhm.
helping them be able to look for jobs, helping them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, that's because these are things that they need, right?
Absolutely.
How do I get a credit card? How do I use the credit card? These are the things that I was focused on to be able to help the youth, because I know one of these days I might be a young man, right? But I'm not gonna be young forever, right? Today,
you know that we want to we live young now. We ain't even go home, right? We live young. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be 60 years old, still living like I'm 30.
Yeah, moving,
And that's
moving
totally
like
fine.
a 32.
My hands might be 60,
right,
but my mind might be 25. Come on.
right. So definitely just giving back, and I was giving back early. I'm talking about at an early age, because I had to. I was always thinking about the future.
Yes.
Well, no, I'm not gonna be here forever. I'm not.
I want to be here forever.
I don't either. I don't even want to know when I hit 90, maybe,
Done.
Lord,
Coach,
take me
just
when
wheel
you ready.
Just wheel me off to the sunset. You know what I mean?
Someone behind us have to take control after that point.
Yeah.
Let's give the mantle. Let's get a baton. Go ahead and run forward.
Let me tell you, if I overstay my welcome, please believe. Listen, giving you full permission to wheel cart me right on the bike. I don't even
Let me know if I overstayed my welcome.
Come on now. That's a real thing though, man, because what we have here in this city, man, we got a problem with the old guard.
Yeah.
Right? We got the people that's been in position and they've been moving and shaking for a long time, for decades, right?
Right.
They don't never necessarily know what we want to do as far as what we want to see from our perspective, because they so dedicated on their own, right? On what they see and what they got going on.
Right.
You talking about the master plan. You talking about the 50-year plan, the bicentennial this, the centennial this, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always that. But do you ever take the time out to go ahead and get with these brothers like that's out there in the field and say like, all right, what y'all want to do, right? Because we ain't gonna be here when y'all be out here, right? How can we help make a way for you?
So now,
real question.
Now what you're speaking about is being connected with the people. And there's so many people that are disconnected.
Yeah.
They're around the people that have the money. They're around the people that wears the suits all the time.
Yes, sir.
Each and every single day. But what about the people that has their, their boots on?
Yeah.
That's out in the mud.
Come on.
In the rain, sleet and snow. What about those folks? Are you out there serving with them?
Yeah.
See, that's another reason why I want to run. Why I am running. Because I have to. I'm ready. I've already been putting in the work. And let me tell everybody, I would do this work whether I become a council member or not, right?
See, that's the key right there. You got to be able to do the work whether you in the seat or out.
Right.
If you out in the field, you got to continue to do if you lose a race, you got to go ahead and do the work, because that's what people gonna judge you on. They're gonna be like, yeah, we saw you running for election XYZ, but we didn't see you after that.
Yeah.
We saw you after that, right? We see, he's still out there. He's still getting
Still doing
it, right? That's how people know that, they serious.
Exactly.
Let me be honest with you. My own family, they very, very, I come from a prominent family, and they very, very stern about, okay, if you keeping it real, if you faking the phone, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? But what they said, like, okay, after this, right, we got to see what you do next.
Right.
We don't, we saw what you're doing right now, right? And we got that.
Mhm.
But we want to see whether you win, lose, or draw, if you're going to continue to stay consistent.
Exactly.
That's what's going to motivate people to say, like, yeah, no, that's a real one.
Mm.
He ain't just out here just trying to go ahead and get in position just because.
Yeah.
But they really dedicated to the purpose of what they believe in.
Right.
And they following through. So we're going to get behind them.
Yeah. And we can only wear a mask for so long. So if I say
Sure.
that I'm a person that's for the people, right? For so long, I'm only going to be able to hold that sentiment until what my words are they aligning with my actions?
Yeah,
Am I
absolutely.
just giving people lip service, or I'm
Yeah.
actually putting in the work?
Come on now, talk to me.
So, like you said, even after, win, lose, or whatever,
Yeah.
am I still doing the work?
Are you still doing the work?
And that'll connect with
Are
people
you still dedicated
regardless.
to Flint?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's all they want to know. Because titles, parties, all that special interest, man, that stuff should not matter. What are you doing for the people? Especially, in our wards, right?
Yeah.
In our different separate wards and all. I love Flint as a whole.
Yes, sir.
But we know if you are a council person, be a council person for your ward. Why are you a council person that's in somebody else's ward, in their business, what they got going on? They should be talking to their council person.
And then too, one thing that I did respect about Councilman Mays, Eric Mays, the late Eric Mays, you can be in the first ward, which he was the first ward councilman.
Yeah.
But then you can call him, you can live in the fifth ward, right? You can be like, hey, listen, I got this issue, XYZ, I need some clarity, I need some help.
Okay.
The brother was always willing to go ahead and help. It didn't matter if you lived in the first ward quarters, or if you was outside of that, right? He was willing to go ahead and help and support. And I think that's what separated him from being, just not a councilman, but that brother was a real person that you can go to as a point of contact.
Right.
And I always said to him, man, I said, man, that's a beautiful thing about what you do, because you're not looking at it just from your ward.
Exactly.
And what representatives have to look at is, like, yeah, you represent for the ward that you live in. That's for sure, because we got to go ahead and keep it in perspective. But then at the end of the day, you all are responsible for how this whole city looks.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to work in concert with each other.
Exactly.
So this will bring me to this question, right? So you're running for 7th Ward Council.
I am.
Okay. All right. So that constitutes over there on the south side,
right?
That's a prominent side because you got my community college over there,
Cultural centers,
you got, the cultural center. You got a lot of activities over there, all different things going on over there. So it's a lot of activity taking place.
Exactly.
The current council person right now is Candace Mushat, right?
Right.
What is your reflection, because you live there and you've been there? What is your perspective of the response time? Like if you reached out and had a conversation about some things, or if it's something that needed to take place over there or need to be done, right?
Yeah,
Whether it be blight, crime, etc. Just being overall accessible, right?
Okay.
Because that's a key thing.
Right.
And then also what you have voted on, because as a council person, you will be judged on what you voted on.
Right.
It's not about I like or I don't like this person because I just don't like his personality. It's about too, it's like, what has that person done for this ward? And what has this person voted on, right? And then what's the vision for the outlook for this side of the town? So I know that was a loaded question.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Break it down to me. It's like, from your perspective, what's up with the 7th Ward?
Okay. I can break it down with 3 words, right?
Absolutely.
Active,
Okay.
not absent. So as soon as I announced that I was running for 7th Ward, it was explosion of people come out of nowhere. Hey, 1, I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
2, they came with the good and they came with the bad. Okay. So I support you. Do you know who you're running against? This person is X, Y, and Z. So I'm the type of person I am willing to listen, right?
Good.
You can talk to me at any given point. I live right in the ward. Like, you can't miss me. I'm around in my ward that we call the hood, right? And I just listened. And
what
I asked questions.
You in? What neighborhood you in?
So the neighbor is closer by the Regencies, right? Where everybody called the Regencies. I'm over closer in that
Man, big shout out to the Regencies.
area.
I gotta give a wonderful shout out to the Regencies condos. Yeah. Go over there, make sure you go ahead and pull in. You gotta get past the speed bumps. Gotta go ahead and get past the boys hanging out in the corner, right? But it's gonna be good, right? Because it's
Yeah.
a beautiful atmosphere with some phenomenal folks. Man, I just always love going to the Regencies and just hanging out with my homeboys, slapping high fives, picking up trash, and just getting to it, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just a fun feel. I grew up in that neighborhood, man. So
Okay.
I grew up on Houston right there,
Right.
by the Regencies, man. It's always been the Regencies to me. I know they changed the name a couple times. But nevertheless, man, it's always gonna be the Regencies condo,
Right.
right, located off of Living Kind, right next to 1011. Okay.
So, oh man,
Go be talking about other
Yeah.
commercials and shit.
so
Was that a commercial? Was that a commercial for the Regencies?
that was definitely
Come
a
on,
commercial.
beautiful Regencies.
He advertising right now. Somebody endorsed this man. So again, so all I did was I just started to listen. I listened and I wanted to get a feel for Candace myself. Candace,
That's good.
let me first by start. I want to say this. I have no issue with you personally. Everything is for the people. This is what I'm aiming to serve. I've been serving the people, and I aim to continue to serve the people. Right.
Absolutely.
The things that I've heard, I didn't like. I understand.
What did you hear?
What I've heard was she's not out here.
Okay.
She's not in the mix with us. She's disconnected.
Mhm.
She don't know who we are.
Yeah.
We don't know Candace, but Darrell, we know you.
Okay.
We see you out here. We see you helping the elderly. We
Mhm.
see you speaking to the youth and mentoring the youth.
Mhm.
You showing them how to pick up a shovel and actually go get it. And I have people, the youth that comes and shovel my yard and people around me yard, go get your money.
Mhm.
These things, instead of just being out, if you're gonna be on the street, work out in the street in the proper ways
Yeah.
that we grew up on.
That's right.
If we don't teach them, they won't know.
Mhm.
Response time, my ward isn't educated. They're
You
not
said
educated.
They're not educated.
They're not educated with the things that they should know. And it's simple. And that's another thing I aim to do, which is tell people where are your resources at.
Because you guys in the 7th Ward, there's always been kind of like a high priority, high voting ward, right?
Yeah.
Because you got a more of a fluent neighborhood over there by DeMott College. Right?
Exactly.
There are a lot of elders, demographic in the area. So there's always been like a prominent ward here in the city of Flint.
So this is another thing I want to speak on because I'm all through the ward.
Mhm.
Like I love just to go for drives. That's one of my things. Late night drives, early morning, clear my mind or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just in one area. So my area, nice houses.
Mhm.
I'm over there where we don't have the great houses at also.
Okay.
So I can speak to all ages and demographics.
Mhm.
I'm not just for the few, I'm for all.
Yeah.
Not just for the people who got the money in their pocket,
Mhm.
but I'm for the ones that don't got the money in their pocket as well.
That's right.
That's what I aim to serve.
That's right.
All people, not just some people.
Mhm.
And that's the issue that I feel like they're facing right now because of this is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
This is all that I'm hearing. Like I said, I have no issue with her, but issues need to be addressed. And they feel like she's not being held accountable.
Okay.
And I'm all about accountability. Tell the truth, whether you're doing right or wrong.
Mhm.
Give me the credit, whether I'm doing right or I'm doing wrong.
That's right.
And that's just all it needs to be. Whole active listening sessions.
Yeah.
Invite them in different areas, not just one area where, it looks so nice. We need to go to those areas that don't look so nice as well.
Come
and
on.
let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's get out there in the mud as well.
Come on.
Where everybody is hurting at though too.
That's right.
Because if life is so good and it's so bright in this area, I can get why people want to gravitate there though. But what about the areas where it's raining and it's cloudy?
Mhm.
I got to be willing to, put on my raincoat and walk in those areas as well. And that's what I do.
That's right.
Because I love all people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the race, the religion, the creed. I love all people because I believe that all people can do good.
All right.
And I know and understand they can all do bad as well.
It's some good black folks. There's some terrible black folks.
It is.
It's some good white folks. There's some terrible white folks.
Exactly.
Right? And so on. Chinese, Mexican, etc. Right? I believe what he said. Like, man, when you talk about, man, you know what? You do respect people that are good people. Right?
Definitely.
Always go ahead and contribute towards that. Right? We already got a overwhelming, population of negative and terrible people. Right? Always be the good folks. Okay.
And that's another thing, though, too. I will say I am no saint by any means. I done been in jail a few times or whatnot. You know, thank God I was never convicted. I appreciate it. Man, let me tell you something. I seen numbers I've never even thought about that anybody should ever have to face. But at the same time, I understand how it is to be at the lowest of the low and then abound from there. You know, it was an experience because I got to see people I've never seen in my life or even think to sit down and talk to. And I got to learn the good and the bad. People that we would never even think to talk to. Oh, you look like a bad person. And understand that these are great people.
Now,
but that's how we look at people in Flint.
I want to definitely highlight that, man, because you got some phenomenal people, man, that made a mistake and just, you know, had to serve some time, right? Or had to go through the mud or go through all the negative publication because of a situation that they may not have even, you know, done to the extent of what people see it as. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, big shout out to all our returning citizens. Big shout out to everybody who's currently locked down in Genesee County. We get a lot of calls every day. We got a lot of folks down there, institutions all around, you know, Michigan, around the country. I always want to give a big shout out to that because you never know what a person, you know, is going through, right? And then we do got some brilliant people that's currently in lockup today, right? So never go ahead and shun a person because they did some time. Or never, you know, look down on a person because they're coming out the county.
Exactly.
Right? You got to respect people because that could easily be you. You just may not got caught up.
Exactly.
And I know I took my hits early in the game, and I appreciate like the camaraderie that you gain when you be around different type of people from all different sides, right? And you know what I mean? You get an understanding about, you know, life. I appreciate the Babas, which is the elders, man, that really kind of like, man, helped, you know, guided and gave us some books and things to read, some information. I would have never known about the UCC code. I would have never known about solving citizenship. I would have never known about, you know, breaking my Social Security, breaking the contracts with the birthright. I would have never known about none of that, right? If I ain't go through those type of trials and tribulations. So, man, listen, don't never knock a person because they had an unforeseen situation, right? Just glad that they don't look like what they've been through.
Now, let me piggyback on something that you said.
Yes, sir.
You said that, you know, these are returning citizens, right? So understand they're still citizens of Flint.
Absolutely.
Just because they did some time, whether right or wrong, because sometimes people take plea deals because they're scared of the time that they're facing, and we know what type of system that we do have, which we're still working to make it, you know, better, right?
Never take a plea deal. Never take your first plea deal. Always take it to trial. Even if
I took it to trial twice.
Doubt, you know, for crime, whatever the case may be. If they ain't got all their ducks in a row, you make sure you take that to trial. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you, you know, when you take them first plea deals, you just only add to the conviction rate.
Exactly.
But if you can hold it out, right, you can stretch it out, it might be some years. A lot of times people don't got that type of time. They want to get home.
Right.
They want to get home to their family. They want to get back out in society. They want to get back home and be on probation for 5 years. So what's crazy is if you continue to fight the fight and they ain't got enough evidence on you, whatever the case may be, right? You threaten to go to trial. You
they usually drop it
out. You know, they usually drop it, right? Because they ain't got enough evidence to convict you. So that's a little
or give you time served. So in my situation, right, I was facing multiple different cases, right? Multiple different things, and they, you know, of course, huge numbers, and then also, you know, time served. If you believe in the evidence that you see makes you want to give me time served, then what do you got? Like, what do you seriously got? That means you can't believe that I'm this person that whatever you out to be. It can't be, right?
That's right.
Let's take it to trial.
Come on.
And one of the reasons why I went to trial, one is because I'm an innocent man, right?
Yeah.
And something in me just I can't sit back and take something that I didn't do. And that's one thing I want to tell the people out there. Don't sit back and take anything just because you got a group of people that's willing to believe a lie. Don't just take anything and lie down and take anything that people give you, right? You get up and you go get it. You go get your freedom because it's already yours.
Come on.
And I seen moments like this though. I seen these moments coming to pass. And I said, I'm not about to have no record, something that somebody just wanted to give me. I know how it is to feel like that. I understand the folks that have went to jail. For things that they never did, just because somebody lied on you. And that's Flint though. People lie on people in Flint. all the time. I'm not saying that we the most horrible people, but that's things we need to get away from.
Yeah.
And I come to speak about the positivity. You know, get away from those things. If you're gonna speak anything, speak about the good things, not the negative things, because negative is gonna always be negative. But what about the good that we are doing in Flint? What about serving? What about the events that we have to help the youth? Things that, you know, help people out and to be able to go from here to there.
Absolutely.
The crab in the barrel mentality, we hear this over and over in Flint. It has to go. We need to tip over that bucket. We have to.
And you know what? That's exactly why we said we setting the tone for a new wave,
Mhm.
right? That brings us up into our next segment. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we talking about the neighborhood news.
Oh,
segment,
yeah.
right? Come on now, it's going down in the neighborhood. It's a lot of great things taking place here in Flint. It's a lot of activity going on just in general throughout this city, right? As the brother said, man, listen, we a robust community.
Very much so.
Always understand, man, we was the third richest per capita city at one point in time. So it is some fragments of greatness here, right?
Right.
But as we move forward to the future, looking at some great things here, right? So let's take it to this Flint City Council race. Yeah, we talking about the neighborhood news segment. We talking about the Flint City Council race. We got some people that has jumped out there, put their name out there, put their name in the hat, right? And they're looking to go ahead and run and get in position. Listen, I support anybody and everybody that's trying to change this community for the better, right? Let's make that clear first, right? So we got some activity taking place right there in the first ward, right? Yeah, we done seen currently this position is being held by none other than Leon L. Alamin, which is going through a number of different situations right now, man. You know, and let me say this, you know what I'm saying? Me and Leon came in the game together, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person, man, you know, loyalty is strong to me. Like I believe that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just important for us.
Right.
But then, you know, always, man, even though that me and the brother haven't had real sit down conversations in years, right?
Right.
But I always respect that we came in the game together. See, that's what you had to understand. And I know he's going through his trials and tribulations right now, right? But I never kick a brother while he's down. That
No.
ain't never been my style.
No.
Right? So I wouldn't say nothing about anything that's going on. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, I know Kiki. I know his children's mother. And I know that situation is taking place. I was there when they first had this little nephew, right? His son, which I still call nephew to this day.
Yeah.
Do I like what's going on with that situation? Hell no. Right? That's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
That they done got, you know, going on over there, man. But I would just say this. And I told Leon this on multiple different occasions. I said, man, listen, you got to be mindful of who you get into bed with, in a literal standpoint, you know, what you got going on the physical. But the thing is this, you got to be mindful who you do business with and how you deal with folks, right?
Yeah.
We used to have those type of conversations back in the day because it was a time when it was just me and him. Nobody was supporting nothing that we had going on. We were just some returning citizens. We was doing a 3R movement, right? And we just trying to get back, right, what they taking from us. And so we was doing a bunch of community giveaways and give backs, and you know what I'm saying? And I know from that standpoint, from the time that we was doing that, I know he had a good heart about that, and he was really trying to change the scope of land, you know, for people who was underserved.
Yeah.
So I always gonna give that, right?
Yeah.
Now, you know, I know when he started building with Neely and you know, voting with them on the council that way, right? We had some difference of opinions. You just got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to know. I just always want him to know that, man. You know what? And just in general.
Yeah.
I'm a real one. You know, we done some phenomenal work together. I'm thankful for the times that we had together. Because even when we ran for school board back in 2014 together, see, people don't even know that. That's what I'm saying. They've been out here for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Over 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So when we ran the school board together, that was just a union that we had created together. And I'm always going to respect that. Now, you know, we haven't had any dealings in the past, you know, 2, 3, 4 years. So, you know what I mean? And I'm still always supportive of, you know, people that I've come up with.
Right.
You know, whether we came up in the streets together. And I'm still locked in with my neighborhood. And I came up in, you know what I'm saying? The neighborhood was indicted back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But everybody who, you know, who came back home from prison, came back home, you know, together, you know, it's always love. You know what I'm saying? We might have made some mistakes while we was living out there in the Howard Estates and L Block, the Pier Road, whatever the case may be, South Side. You know what I'm saying? Had differences with the terrorists. But I really appreciate, you know, everybody who played a part during those times. And even though we're not doing none of that stuff that we were doing beforehand, man, it's all love, right?
Yeah.
It's always respect. Just like with Leon, it's always respect, you know what I'm saying? Because we did have that type of relationship back in the day. Now, what you got going on right now, I know you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go through the situations, right? Whatever the consequences is what it is, right? I wish nothing but the best out of that, right? I'm not going to bash you, not going to kick you down. Just want you to know, man, you know what? Definitely got to continue to keep going strong.
Nah, speak.
And if you're on the right side, if you're on the right side,
Mm.
it's going to work out for you, bro.
And I do want to just speak on, just piggyback off things that you've been saying. One of the things us in Flint is we not negativity. We got to stay away from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, for sure.
this is the reason why so many people go into dark places, and they stop caring because they don't have no support. If you're wrong, whatnot, you do your time in court. You know, you do your time. You know, and you pay back. You know, all your debts, right? When
Yeah.
you come back, that's it. That should be it.
Mm-hmm.
Show us now. You know, make sure your words and your actions align. Show us who you are.
Yeah.
And the lesson that you learned, did you change? But you know, we need to start giving people the opportunity
Yes,
to
sir.
show us versus saying, well, you did this thing
Mm-hmm.
and now that's you forever. That you're labeled as this thing forever. Because I used to be, and I will be honest, when I was younger, I used to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get behind things and say, oh, well, that person did that. That person will never change. Until I grew up and figured out for myself and had to go through things myself and was like, oh, this is how a person could potentially end up in a situation like that.
Absolutely, man. And and so we're not kicking nothing down, right?
No.
We want you to definitely be your best self. And that's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
So we do know that, there was a person that came out in First War. Arthur Woodson came out in the First War vying for that position.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna keep it 100, right? Because I've always been like that. I never got along with Arthur Woodson. Never had any type of respect for Arthur Woodson, right? Whenever the case where, you might have, done some advocacy work and things of that nature, I'm gonna always say this. You know what I'm saying? I judge a man on their character, not about what they putting out to the public, right? If I dealt with you in a situation where I know you, right? I know you. If and buts about it. Can't nobody change the way my perspective is about you, right? You know what I'm saying? They're just keeping it 100, right? And Dog did a whole bunch of, you know, irrational things, right? And we can name off X, Y, Z. And we're gonna bring that to the table too. Matter of fact, we might even bring you in here on this conversation, man, so you can go ahead and make sure you clarify some things on stuff, right? But what I don't like, I never like people to be somebody, you know, who tries to be divisive. In this
Mm.
community, we need to be unified,
Right.
right? And you've done a bunch of divisive things, right? Whatever the case may be, that's just what it is. From back in the day when things was just getting going to the water crisis to when Karen Weaver was the mayor. You did that recall stuff on her, right? All those different things, man. I just feel like, man, then you only came back to apologize because you knew you was wrong, right? Now I know that you running for first ward council person, and we gonna have to definitely have some type of dialogue, conversation, because that's important for me to go ahead and understand where anybody who running for office where they stand. And I'm gonna definitely go ahead and be reaching out. And I'm definitely gonna have a conversation with you. So definitely be looking for all that, right? So I know that you put your name in the hat, and then there's some other folks too that put their names in the hat too. And we're gonna have dialogue about it, right? We do understand that Mr. Brown is definitely running for seventh ward,
Definitely.
right? That's gonna be a big ward. That's a big conversation. We got to make sure that folks have the ideology to be able to go ahead and continue to progress that area right there, because that's an important piece of this community, right? I'm currently residing in the fifth ward, right? I know Juanquez Davis is running for fifth ward council person, right? And I'm gonna just be frank. You know what I'm saying? I really, what I'm saying, Juanquez is like a brother of mine. You know what I mean? Like, we come from those type of fabrics. We understand, what it feel like to be from the underworld and you trying to make a change, right?
Right.
So regardless of any, you know, that's a brother of mine. I respect, what I'm saying? We had a conversation because at the same time, I'm also running for a fifth ward council person. And so, we
Congratulations.
did, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We did have a dialogue, we did have some conversation, And you know what I mean? That was important for me to reach out to him because of the respect that we got there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we come from those situations. My family grew up in there, his family grew up from there. So we're gonna see how the chips lay. It ain't gonna be a bad campaign. I'm gonna say nothing negative about bro. Because you know what I'm saying, that's just how, just say what I can do and what I can provide from that perspective. And I know he gonna do the same thing. So
Of course.
may the best man win.
That's it.
With that, right? You know what I'm saying? And then when you talk about the eighth ward, so I did notice that Dennis Pfeiffer did say that he's not running for
He
eighth
did.
ward council person, which is cool. I'm not even sure what Dennis did the whole time he was there. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no slight to you. This ain't no shot to you. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what you had going on, right? But I do notice that you're not running. I don't know what's going on, what you got planned next, right? But I do got some people that did call in and say that they are looking to run for eighth ward, right? We got some people that's running for fourth ward. We got like 6 people running for the second ward, which is currently occupied by Liddell Lewis. Now, Liddell is an interesting character. We got to be 100. You know, one thing for sure, when her and Pfeiffer had that situation going on, and, Pfeiffer may have alluded to a monkey in the room or elephant in the room, however you want to call it, right? She was offended by it. Liddell Lewis. So she contacted our office, which is Black Lives Matter, to say, like, okay, so this white man has said this thing about a black woman, what can we do about that? So, you know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with the team. Of course, you know what I'm saying? We're going to always support, when you're in the Black Lives Matter movement, we always going to support people of color, right? We always going to go ahead and make sure that that makes sense. And so what we did was we wrote a letter on her behalf, right? Shout out to our board chair, Mr. Hubert Roberts, Naeem Roberts, MM. We wrote a letter towards, you know what I'm saying, to be able to support her on that level. We submitted it in the Flint City Council. And, we supported, that you should never talk bad about a black person. I don't care what's going on. I don't know what the details was.
Yeah.
You might have had a fumble of words or whatever, right? Me and Eric was talking about it. But we wanted to make sure that no black women is being disrespected out here in this community. I don't give a dang where you at.
Right.
City council. I don't even have to agree with you because I don't agree with Liddell. You should be flat out. When we were trying to put the mural down here, when we were trying to do the Black Lives Matter mural down here, right here in the BLM zone, right in front of Soggy Bottoms, she didn't support that. Neither did the mayor, Sheldon Neely. None of them supported that, right? But they black. And they should be supporting anything that's representing the blackness. But just like we came to your support when it was time when you felt you was being attacked, we came and supported you, right? But you couldn't even give us a common decency of supporting a mural repainting in the streets when we already had locked in the funders and had this big thing that we was gonna do, etc. Right? Y'all played that game, and so I just want to make sure I do put those things and those points out there because it's important. So now, when you got 6, 7 people running for that position, it's gonna be interesting for you. Same thing for third ward, right? Some people are moving to the third ward because the lines are. I want people to understand that the lines were redrawn, so they're enacted this year.
Yeah.
So you want to know about who's in your ward, where your borders are. It's gonna be important for you to be able to go ahead and get those people in your area.
Check
right?
that map.
Check your maps, right? When you fill out that paperwork downtown, they give you a map. Make sure you check that map out so you know that you're getting the right folks in your
Right.
ward,
Definitely.
right? And then, of course, we'll be giving the updates, information along the way. This is an exciting year, y'all. And I feel we about to shake it up. And I know that
We're about to.
Rico Lloyd had reached out. Yeah, he was trying to see if he was gonna run for mayor. Right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. We got Sheldon Neely in the seat right now, but I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I'm not too sure how dedicated he is to the city of Flint. Me and Sheldon have had our battles in the past. Hell, we still got our battles right now. At the end of the day, we definitely got to go ahead and make this city move forward. And whoever's in that seat, right? We truly hope that we can work in unison to make a difference. So, we got some big decisions to make this year. We got some coalitions we need to build out.
Yeah.
And, we had to go ahead and make this, count moving forward in the future. So, I heard, we heard with 7th Ward candidate, Mr. Darrell Brown has 47 awards. So make sure you check him out on all platforms, right? Be sure to go ahead and check him out on Royale X Politikin, right? Yeah, you can definitely hear the conversation, all the things that he want to do. But then if you want to get with him, get him with him in the public.
Willing to listen.
He's very visible, willing to listen. He got some great ideas. Just tap in with him so that way you can know for your own self, right? And so definitely appreciate everybody for definitely tuning in for us. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel, Royale X Politicking, right? You can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Right? Definitely go ahead and tap in with Mr. Brown, right? He's online, right? Social medias, right? You can catch him, tap in with him in the streets. Yeah. So we definitely, man, we appreciate everybody for tapping in. We know that this is going to be an important year. So make sure that you are registered to vote. You understand? Being educated about what's going on in your society so that you know how to go ahead and vote for 2026. All right, there you have it, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap this segment up. Royale X Politicking, tapping out.